How would you like to be in the vlog? iSurf Tribe vlog?
Sure.
We are here at the Overson's house. We're going to do a little flyover. Ever since Atua got his drone, everybody's been asking him to get some cool footage and shots, so we do that every once in a while. The art of flying the drone and looking invisible. So this is Mark Overson. Your boys compete in snowboarding, right? Do they still do that?
Yep, they're still pretty avid snowboarders. You can check out their videos. If you look at Snowbird's videos, they're frequently in those.
Snowbirds?
Yep, Snowbird, Utah.
Alright, so yeah, that was a little glimpse of the rodeo. Atua went to the rodeo last night, so if you want to check out the rest of that video, you can head on over to his channel, and he's got the entire vlog where he shows everything that happened there. It's kind of like a carnival rodeo. They let everybody jump in the ring. But what we're going to do now is, a bunch of you guys requested and said, you know, can you just leave the camera rolling so we can see what the paddle like is all the way out? Usually we cut that out, so sorry if this is boring for a few people, but I'm going to go ahead and make that request happen. So in this video, basically I am going to just paddle out the back all the way until I catch my very first wave. So I usually just put my leash on and then I start walking. As you can see, all these people on the inside, a lot of these people are beginners or surf instructors that are teaching beginners. I always like to rub some sand on my wax. Even though I put fresh wax on, it seems to kind of get the stickiness, kind of reactivate it. So whenever I enter the water, that's one thing that I always do. I always grab a handful of sand. It's kind of like my ritual now, and then I just get about waist deep, grab some sand, and then I just kind of rub it around, and then I hardly ever slip when I remember to do that. So basically what I do when I first jump in the water is I just walk out as far as I can. And that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just kind of walking out. And these are the inside people learning. You can see them kind of, a couple swimmers there, and then over there on the left. And then what I usually do is I just hold the nose of my board. You can see I'm kind of doing that right there. And I just walk out. And I walk out all the way until I'm about chest, neck deep. And then I start paddling. I usually will walk out till I'm about neck or chest or neck deep, and then I'll kind of wait and see if the sets are coming. And then before I hop on my board and paddle, I usually wait, make sure the sets are stopped, because if you time it wrong, it can take you twice as long to get out. Now this is a beach, but this is a sand bottom, so this doesn't always work. This method's not going to work at a reef or a point break or a rock, cobblestone or something like that. This is for your typical sand bottom. So it looks like I got to the deep, so now I'm paddling. I don't use the GoPro that often, so it looks like the GoPro is facing just a little bit down. So I'll have to remember that setting, just kind of notch it up a little bit. And Keely's actually behind me, paddling out, following me right out. And this isn't really typical of what a paddle out was going to be like, because I timed it so perfectly that there was almost no waves coming when I hopped on my board. I think I duck dive one little wave right here, and then I'm almost all the way out. It literally took me like 2 or 3 minutes. You can see somebody over there on the left getting ready to catch that wave. So this wouldn't be a typical paddle out, but you guys asked for it, so I said I would leave it. I would say probably, usually it takes about twice as long. And then, to make things even funnier, I believe a wave just comes right to me as soon as I paddle out. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just kind of getting out a little bit past the lineup where you want to sit, out of the impact zone, and then you wait for a wave, and then you basically paddle into it. But in this case, you're going to see me whip a turn here probably in a couple seconds and pretty much go for the first wave. So just kind of I just let it roll. I just let the camera roll for you guys so you can kind of see what it's like to just paddle all the way out. And the reason why we don't do that is because it can be very boring just watching somebody paddle over and over and duck dive. There are times when you'll duck dive 10 or 15 waves just to get out, but look at that. I turned, wave came right to me, and I believe it was a right. Yep, boom, standing up. Looks like there's a little bit of fog. A little bit of fog on the lens. Oh yeah, I forgot to spit on the lens. That's one of Atua's tricks there. Got to remember to do that. And then I started paddling out, and then the set came, and then it actually took me a lot longer to get back out. So then what I did is I just basically passed the GoPro over to Keely, and then she basically took over for a couple waves. She's been sick for the last few days, so she hasn't been out in our videos. There's a little left. Now, a lot of times this looks like it's speeded up, but it's not. This is actually the speed of the GoPro. I did not speed this up at all. GoPro, kind of that wide angle lens has that kind of effect where things look like they're flying by a lot quicker. Here goes Keely again. You can see that she's really kind of getting better at working the wave. She definitely needs to get a new board. That board's, I think she's grown out of it. And I believe this is the last wave that I end up taking. She handed off the GoPro back to me. And then I believe this last wave I took. And it's funny how the GoPro makes the waves look so much smaller. Couple turns and a little cut back. And then that was pretty much it for the session. There was a swell the last couple days. This is kind of the going out swell. And there's Keely girl. And that's about it, guys. Just kind of want to do a little voiceover, talk you through the paddle out, a little bit different, the entire footage of it. And that's it.
Pura vida.
And aloha.
See you in the next video.
And don't forget to subscribe.